What's up? I'm Dan Random, and today I'm going to change the ABS pump on my 1994 Acura Integra. So over here, I have what's supposed to be a known good one that I bought from eBay. And it looks like, I'm not sure if I did this, the weight of this thing, when I set it down, if it was, underneath a part of it, then it may have smashed it. So it looks like this can come apart pretty easily. Hopefully I can swap the old one here with this one. So I'm going to start by removing this and this nut down here. I think I can get this out without pulling out the whole cradle, I guess I'll call it, because it looks like there's no nut on a threaded post back here, which I'm not sure if it was supposed to have a nut. But, so you may have to take out this whole cradle. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to. So, let me just loosen these up. These are 12 millimeter. Well, that was pretty easy. Okay, now I'm also going to have to loosen these lines up and I guess remove them. I'm going to put a wet or damp rag underneath here to catch the brake fluid and neutralize it. So it does look like it will come out once I take these lines off. So I have a line wrench here from Gear Wrench. Now, I tried a few different wrenches and they did not work. I was almost rounding these things off, so I ordered a much tougher, more expensive, I'm sure you could find a more expensive, better one than this, but this actually did do the trick. Now, I had already cracked all of these loose in the past, so I expected them to come off pretty easily this time. But one was stuck really hard, so I very carefully put a good pair of vice grips on it and tried not to chew it up. You can see there's some teeth marks there, but it pretty much maintained its shape. So I have all of these loose again now. So now to remove them. Got my damp rag in place. I'm going to get these all, hopefully, to finger tight so I can just loosen them with my fingers the rest of the way. Alright, I have all the lines popped out of their holes here. Hopefully I can do this one-handed. Maybe not. Yeah, let me get two hands on this. Then I'm not sure. I guess I have to get this off of a bracket down here. I'm not sure about this one. No, let me just do that off camera. This is just going to slide off one way or the other. Okay, so this one just lifted up off of this here, and this one just slides forward. Of course, I had to pop the little thing loose before doing that there. But, so now I can disconnect my connectors and lift this thing out of here. Alright, that was easy, of course, because I didn't have to get this nut off back here. You could probably slide a 12 millimeter down in here and get that loose, and then it just slides straight up. All you would have to do is just loosen it. But I was missing that nut, so I'll have to find another one of them. So now we just have to get this harness thingy off of here, swap that over, and I'll be ready to drop the new one in its hole here after I do a little bit of cleaning. So if you're interested in how I did this, or how I'm doing this, you have to pop this guy out from the back here, and the old one was broken, but here's the one that I get to put back in. And this is the, I think it's called Weather Pack. It's basically it's insulation that is inside here. So one of them was on here, and the one from in here I pulled out already. And I have one of these pulled out. What you have to do is, see down in there, that little copper part? You have to get a screwdriver between the silver and between the copper part there, and then pull this out from the back. Now, I can't really show you on camera right now, but basically you can see the copper is left inside there. So you just have to pry them apart and pull this out the back. So I have to then do that on this side and move this then over to here, keep track of which wire is what, and then we'll get this thing back in the car. So as you can see here, I have the good one off of the old pump, and I put it over here to compare and make sure it's going on the same way. Now, the way I made sure that they were on the correct side is, see this little center part here, how the T, it's more of a T turned this way. It's kind of like an I with a short side and a long side. So I just made sure that that orientation was correct. So now I'm just going to switch this last wire and get these pieces back in. And make sure this is all clean before you put it back in. I just flipped it inside out so I can clean the inside really well. I just noticed that the new pump actually has all 3 nuts already here, so I don't need to find another nut. So I'm going to get this heavy thing dropped in its hole up here. So it's a little bit of a tight fit. You have to make sure it goes straight down into its hole. I got the connectors all connected and mounted again, and these 3 are in their holes but not started. I'm going to get these 3 bottom ones started here to try to stop the leaking. Let me get this, actually I can start them by hand a little bit. Let me get my wrench going here. Now that I have everything all tightened, I have to put my big fuse back in. It's a 40 amp fuse. I had taken it out so this thing wouldn't run every time I started the car. So that's how you change the pump. I'm going to do another video on how to bleed this and get the pedal to not feel soft. So when I do that, I will leave a link in the description below.